It's a record-setting day, and you're seeing some names like Apple hitting new highs, right? And that's an oldie but goodie that everybody owns. In the meantime, stock picks for your portfolio. So let's welcome in Eddy Gifford, CFP, Wealth Advisor at Tactive. Good afternoon, Eddy. As we see new highs today on the Dow and the S&P, the Russell has its own new high, I think a 30-month high. Tell me a little bit about your vibe for the back half of this year.
Yeah, the thing that we've been paying the closest attention to probably over the last year or 2 years even is the small caps, that Russell 2000. We've always felt like we need that to break to new highs for us to really feel like we're in a true bull market again. Until that happens, I feel like we're always at risk of things breaking down and things getting real bad real fast. And that's starting to show up a little bit where we're kind of seeing like both sides, one with the labor market and what's going on with inflation in general. We had a mixed bag last week. The Fed indicated that, hey, they don't have to be at 2% to cut. So that's kind of like maybe good news. But is that good news because something's broken, or is that good news because they actually are just ready to cut? And I think that the crux comes down to those small caps. If we can see those small companies continue to do well and those small businesses do well, then we might actually be able to get out of this thing and go to new highs all over again.
Has your outlook changed? Like, were you bullish all year long? Are you starting to be more bullish on certain areas than others?
Yeah, I think that what we've seen this year is coming into the year definitely cautiously optimistic. 2023, we had some green lights, and so we probably got in a little bit earlier than we normally would have compared to other people that are more tactical. And so this year, it's one of those things where we have to be cautious because there are a lot of things, and when we have that change, that dynamic shift in the Fed, that typically causes a big event. And so we have to be aware of the fact that that big event could be something bad, but at the same time, we can't run from it. If the markets are running and the wind is behind us, we have to ride that wave, and we just have to make sure that we're being flexible, we're paying attention, and we're putting ourselves in a situation to where if things do move, we're ready for it. But also, if things just continue to hit new highs, we want to be along for the ride.
Yeah, I want to get to the stocks to watch, but at the same time, I thought it was incredible when I saw Bitcoin up 10% today. I mean, we have so many folks who love crypto, and they've been somewhat disappointed, right? They were hoping it goes back to 75,000. It was in the 50s. So when I saw it was up 10% today, and Coinbase was up 11%, but you said you're hesitant on parts of the Bitcoin trade. Is that the ETFs, or what parts do you like and not like?
Well, I mean, for the record, like, we like Bitcoin. We just don't feel like we're necessarily back into a bull market yet. We're in this situation where it was breaking down pretty fast. And over the weekend, and with some of the unrest and some of the other things that are going on around the world, we've seen this surge. So if this surge can hold, and we can finish this week above 61,000. We're at 63.5 now. So all we got to do is just kind of hang on and build a base this week. But if we do that, we could definitely see new highs. We could see that Bitcoin 100,000 that everyone's been talking about. We like it for a slot in the portfolio. But we're for a lot of clients, they're still a little concerned about the volatility associated with it. So we, generally speaking, we're looking to trade it more so than we are to own it. Of course, if it went down to like 5,000 again, I might make the argument that it's time to play the dollar cost averaging game.
So is it the kind of thing that go for it if you have money to lose type, or you have more of a risk appetite? Is that what it is?
So it's a dual purpose. One, if you're hesitant, or if you have some mistrust related to fiat currency in general, then Bitcoin is a great place to be able to build up a stash, if you will, that you can transact with that has a finite number of coins. So from a long-term perspective, we think the supply and demand story is very, very strong. From an investment perspective, it is very, very volatile. And so we have to keep that in mind when we're dealing with customers and clients, that markets can go up and down very, very rapidly. And when we're dealing with cryptocurrency, times that by 5. And so for a more aggressive portfolio, we might play the buy and hold game. If it's a more conservative portfolio, we're going to play the trading game.
All right. Where do you stand on Tesla right now? Buy, sell, hold? What are you thinking?
Tesla is a buy. We've talked about this for the last couple months, and we had that scare last week because their robo taxis got pushed back a couple months, but you can't count out Elon Musk. Anytime that Tesla gets beat up, it always rallies against all those naysayers. And so we're in this situation where it's building up that momentum behind it again. The wind is at its back, but we really would like to see it get above 265 and hold. And if it does that, we can see 300 real fast.
Oh, Tesla 300. All right, Eddy Gifford. People would like to see that. Micron, a popular one, right?
Yeah, Micron, everyone wants to compete with or compete against NVIDIA. And I think that what NVIDIA has shown is that they don't have competition. They are the main source in that market. So if you can't beat them, join them, so to speak. And that's what Micron does. Micron offers the memory technology that's layered on top of the semiconductors that NVIDIA offers. So although it's getting beat up a little bit today, we have seen some good push behind it. And where NVIDIA goes, Micron's going to follow, because the chips that go out that have the NVIDIA name on it, they have some Micron in them.
Yeah. Last but not least, quickly, Constellation Energy.
Yeah, hey, guess what? We've got a lot of energy demand this year. We've got the electrification of the world. We've got cryptocurrency that we just talked about, and everybody's still trying to mine. And we've got technology and artificial intelligence that is just driving a lot of need for power, need for speed, so to speak. And so we need energy. We need everything that we're talking about, all this big stuff that we're talking about. You cannot do it without energy. And so because of that, we like CEG. They've got a robust solutions when it comes to energy solutions in general, a very vast portfolio. And as we've seen this year, it's I think more than doubled this year, or almost doubled this year already. And today a little bit of a breather, but it's got the wind at its back. And if we've learned anything from NVIDIA, when something's got its wind at its back, that's no reason to run from it, especially when you have a supply and demand story behind it. And with energy demand, it's hard to run away from CEG.
Eddy Gifford of Tactive, great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good look at some stock ideas there too. Tesla and Constellation Energy and Micron. Thank you.